coming up. It's just not worth it right now. Okay. Okay. I like how nice and easy 2B is to chain. Obviously, like, some stuff is not as easy, like the True Charge Blade. Not super easy, you have to be a little precise with that one, but everything else, I mean, like, I don't know. This is a little bit off topic, but I really like how easy 2B is to use. Rotation's pretty simple, like self-explanatory. Her only weakness, I'd say, is she can die very... If she dies, you kind of have to start all over again, and kind of locked out of a lot of her rotation, but that's such a minor thing. It's the other units that are serviceable, it has much worse kind of limitations. I really like 2B. Hope she continues to be very useful in the future. Oh, I did get dispelled there. Let me make sure. Oh, no, not yet. Okay, not yet. I did not get dispelled yet. That is a filthy lie. You're not going to use Prismatic Barrier, or that could be very bad for us. I'm just going to keep using water screen. There's no need to use water screen. Yeah, sure. So they were just... Okay, they're just instead. Her Limit Burst getting the Imperil was really good, honestly. Like, it just makes her... Oh, that was really dangerous. Okay, we're gonna have to spend a turn healing her. It's not a big deal. We're not in any danger right now. Again, as long as I do that before the Prismatic Barrier, she shouldn't die again. Ooh, those... I guess I should be using Defend more, but... Yeah, there's some fixed damage attacks, but they're not usually that bad. They just waste our time. Prismatic Barrier, too good. Again, turn 5 in the rotation, super free as long as you're using Prismatic Barrier. I really can't state that enough times. There's really nothing to worry about here. But I will use Defend, because I should be paying more attention to that. So one thing you may have noticed is that Siren is healing them right now. I believe it's about 5 million HP every time she does it. But with 2B, you can shoot through that really easily. With Reagan, again, like, when I tried using Reagan, I was just not having a good time. He's not out-damaging. I really wanted to use Reagan, I wanted to like him, but he just wasn't making the cut, so... I don't know, I was probably building him wrong, but... I do that sometimes, build things wrong, but... Whatever the case, 2B is pretty familiar to me, so... If you can, in this game, I would really advise trying to use what's familiar to you. Like, sure, you can have fun and mess around and build other stuff if you really want to. If you enjoy that out of the game, of course, like, go for it. That's like, everyone should kind of enjoy the game in their own way. If you're not enjoying the game, there's no point in playing. There really isn't. This game is not it's not like a little, like, clicking game. You do actually need to kind of think about what you're doing. So if you're not having fun doing it, I really wouldn't advise, continuing. But, again, kind of off topic, but, everyone should, again, be enjoying what they're doing. Don't waste your time on this game if it's not something you're enjoying. Me, I don't know, I feel like there's units, I have a lot of units. I want to use a lot of units, but I always end up coming back to, like, 2B or, like using Grimlord, Sakura, and Sophia as my damage healers, things like that. It's just like 2B, for example, she's just so easy to use. She's breaking, like, a breaker and a damage healer like that with her powerful modifiers. She's just so good. I just don't see a reason to not use her. Especially me, I don't like to spend, like, hours and hours on a fight if I don't have to. If there's a way for me to not have to do that, I'd rather just not be bothered to do that kind of stuff. And that's my kind of enjoyment. But a lot of people are building Conchira, for example. Conchira, like, she's not really someone you usually see that often. And I thought that was kind of neat. But it's not really something I'd do myself. I don't really know how Conchira works. Like, if I have to use a unit, of course I'll pick one up and learn it. It's not that. It's not really the problem, per se. It's just not I don't really enjoy, like, having to wait a bunch of turns trying to accommodate a unit. Oh, jeez. Okay, no. Oh, yeah, that kind of sucks. We're just gonna do this. We'll start this rotation up again. Yeah, if you're using, like, don't think that these are the only units you can use. My way is not by far the only way. I'm sure a lot of people can do this a lot faster than I'm doing it right now. I'm just going the safe route. Using a few different units that I don't usually use. But, Zarg, for example, he was my first real good breaker. I got him off, like, a daily, I think, and when it was his event, I didn't really know anything about him. No one knew how to use him at the time. Everyone was kind of like, what is this guy? I remember, I was there. I was like, who is this guy? What does he do? Is he chain? Like, what is he? Seems to have really low modifiers. And then it turns out on enhancements, he became really good. With just the kind of versatility he has. A lot of these elemental resist things and being up really relevant. Sure, he's gonna kind of fall by the wayside probably at some point, but right now he's still really good. I don't know if he's as good as Nicol. I don't know. It probably depends on the situation. Here, I think he's better. In other situations, I'd really prefer Nicol just for, his limit burst raising and like, Zarg can dispel as well, so I shouldn't say he's dispel because Zarg can also do it. But his Espers stuff, like, some things are just gonna be relevant in some fights, and other things are relevant in other fights, Yeah. Again, Folka's not really someone I'd want to use in those fights, because I prefer to use Fina. I prefer to have re-raise, rather than this kind of removal of debuff stuff. Like, you can just dispel you for that, right? But it's pretty good here. Having a decent time in this fight. It's taking a long time, but this fight is just any kind of fight where you're gonna have to do weird stuff with your gear is probably gonna be pretty slow. Not too bothered. Anyways, Dark Siren down. Now we're gonna be switching into a 3-turn kind of fight. Every 3 turns, Ifrit is going to be using extra AoE damage. And he's going to be dispelling every 3 turns, and then dealing one kind of big attack when we're dispelled. It's not too big of an issue. Again, we're already geared against fire resistance, or to have fire resistance, so we don't have to be too bothered by that. Let me just make sure he hasn't already done some silliness. No, he has not. Good. Okay. But again, it's not too difficult. Just have to remember that every 3 turns you have to kind of prepare yourself for damage. And again, we're still going to be wanting to use these flowing waters and sobering waters because Ifrit can still deal status effects. And while we can heal them, it's just not, you know, the best to have to worry about all the time. We're not going to be using Deep Circle anymore. We don't need it. There's no more water damage going to be coming our way. I don't want to use one first. I want to get rid of this. Yes. And since Ifrit is not weak to lightning, I'm going to be setting up Charge Volt here, just to deal that little bit extra damage. We do want that, we don't want to forget about that. Apart from that though, not really much we have to do here again. Again, Demon Rain counters quite a bit. Demon Rain is really my favorite tank. I think I've used him in almost every video on this channel. I mean, there's like 1 or 2 where you haven't really needed a AoE physical tank, but if you need one, I don't know, really, it's up to playstyle again. Like I'm saying, like some people probably don't want to deal with, they'd rather have like a Sigheart or like someone else. But Demon Rain has always been really good to me. Always really been just kind of there. I don't know. That probably sounds kind of weird. But I don't know, his counter is just really useful. Whenever you can actually be dealing damage, they're just really great. Just don't have to worry about it. He'll always make sure that you have Limit Burst and Esper Orbs. That's always great to not really have to worry about that. From now on, we're not going to have to use Prismatic Barrier as much either, because again, we're just not having to deal with the same kind of stuff, I guess. We're only having to really get a little bit of elemental resistance. He does have physical resistance on himself right now, but that will go away. That's not something we're going to have to be worrying about all the time. And there's the Dispel and the attack. As you can see, all my units survived, so it's not like it's some kind of unsurvivable attack. It's not by any means anything like that. We just have to kind of be aware of it. Fortunately, we have been status debuffed now because Folka's mitigation kind of wore off. Don't love that. Yes. We don't love that, so I'm just going to not worry about it for the time being. May seem a little weird, but I will deal with it in a moment. Right now, I'm first going to just do a Slaughter Dance. Again, make sure to set up cover. Don't forget that, very important. Now it's just kind of a matter of resetting your buffs every 3 turns. All your buffs, especially these. You don't want to get status. And then We can't really go to town per se on Dark Ifrit. He's kind of still mitigated, and he'll be for another turn, but... Oh, I don't like that. That was a little bit unfriendly. Fortunately, though, I have Folka, so... Not a huge problem that he did that. This is the benefit of having 2 healers. You really don't have to worry about silly nonsense like one of them getting hit with a fixed damage attack. You can just bring them back whenever it is convenient for you to do so. Like right now. There's not really much else. I will remove my spirit reductions, and I will just quickly full life Fina. Yeah, we have one more turn to wait, so... Yeah, I'm just gonna put True Charge Volt on him, just so that it's ready by the time I can actually deal some proper damage. He's really trying to counter, but he's nowhere near as good as Demon Rain. Demon Rain is just the much better counterer here. Demon Rain laughs at his pathetic attempts. It's like, you think that's countering? This is countering. This is me smacking you in the face, getting my allies in the crystals. You are nothing. I promise, that's what he's saying right now. I'm just gonna use Folka to get rid of these debuffs. Like Nicole, her limit burst gets rid of them. I love a little... I know they're not Chow, but I was a Sonic person a while ago, a long time ago, and so they're all gonna look like Chow to me. Folka summons the Chow to help out. Again, he's gonna use Roar, Disruption Fire. We're gonna pretend that Demon Rain's gonna, like, laugh and keep hitting him, while everyone else is just like, well, that's the thing that happened. Again, Dark Ifrit's kind of bulky, so we're gonna be at this for a while. My commentary isn't too awful. It's probably pretty awful. We will slowly whittle him down. It's a bit nice that we are slowly doing this, because even though it's going to take, like, forever, at least we're not going to be able to break past any of his thresholds. His thresholds would probably wipe the party, so we don't want to really deal with that. We want to have a nice, death-free time here. And we're going to be seeing Fina's limit burst a lot. So we'll just, you know, sit back and enjoy that. When CG Dark Fina comes, by the way, that's going to be quite a time. That's going to be a bit of a bad experience for me if I don't manage to roll her. Really hope Gumi gets rid of those Summon Fest bullshit banners, but I'm not very hopeful that that's going to happen. If I'm being completely honest. I wish it will happen, but you know, I just don't see it being something they're going to consider. If it makes them money, they'll probably go for it. That's just the way it is. Unfortunately. So I don't want to deal with that right away, but at some point I want to use Mobizen Burst again. So I'm just setting that up. As I said, Zarg is pretty mana hungry. I do want to be able to keep healing everyone's mana. Dance him 3 times. I'm gonna dispel this guy. That doesn't really hurt us though. You just carry on. If you do want to use Prismatic Barrier with Zarg, I would recommend doing it after this kind of dispel happens, or else you're kind of wasting it, because if you do it any other time, you're not really gaining the full advantage from it. You'll get it for like a turn or two, and then it's gonna go away. No one wants that. We want a long use of it, so. When you see the difference with Prismatic Barrier up versus not up, everyone would take at least a little damage if it was not up. When it's up, we just kind of ignore the whole attack and continue on with our business, as though Darky Freak just didn't try to take a temper tantrum on our butts. You can really see it there. Just wanted to point that out. Again, just focus on the first here. Find the Chow. He tries again to reduce our attack there and status us, but Folka's protecting us. He can't really do that. He wants to, he tries, but he's just SOL. This I can just go. And then when 2B gets some real chaining partners, that's gonna be great. I believe Red 13 is gonna be kind of her first real good one. I mean, you have Espers right now, and Felix, but Felix is really rare. Like, I don't think any of my friends even had one. I have quite a few friends. I guess some would probably have him, but just decided not to put him up, but Felix is super rare anyways, and Espers, I don't know, just not great, so. And 2B has real good chaining partners. She's gonna be really great there. I believe it. So, one more turn. Okay. We'll keep doing that then. Folka's a really pretty design. Only the character where, you know, not what she is. I don't know, it's probably not the place to really go on these kind of rants about characters. Most people really don't care. They're like, whatever, you're playing the game, but I am, but I used to anyways, kind of really enjoy the story, and I don't know, I don't like Folka. I liked Veritas of the Waters when she just like, I didn't like her, but she was amusing to hate, I guess. So again, E3 kind of says he's trying his best, but I don't know, man, I just don't see it. I don't see what you're doing there. I don't think you're trying at all. I think you're lying. The Four Comas, Veritas of the Waters is especially funny. She's one of those people who's just so evil and petty. She ends up hurting even her own teammates, and no one can stand her. Like, even her own team is just super frustrated with her and just not enjoying her company. It's pretty funny, actually. Four Comas, I don't know, they have problems, but they're pretty great. In general, like, a few are not good, but that's kind of the thing with every 4 coma. Just something I gotta accept. Anyways, we are getting closer to killing him. It's just gonna take a little bit. Just gonna take a little bit of time. And Demon Marine's gonna prolong that a little by, you know, keep doing his, you know, hitting thing. It's fine, Demon. You keep doing your thing. We appreciate you. We appreciate Demon Rain in this house. Fina gets a lot of time to shine on this channel. Again, looking forward to when I can use Dark Fina, have her CG spammed constantly. That would be nice. That'll be a good time, hopefully. If the game even gets that far. We will never get her. Let's put these to this side. There's just not very much else to talk about here. It's really just the same things over and over again until you kill him at this point. The challenge in this trial is not really anything apart from being able to gear your units. Once you've done that, you're really set. There's just nothing they can do to stop you. It's just a matter of chewing through their big HP bars. Not my favorite thing in design, admittedly, but it is better than just constant mana drain. Being like, well, it doesn't matter what units you bring because none of them have mana. You might as well just bring some auto attackers and call it a day. Not like, that's bad. We don't like that. No, we do not like that at all. Good. Again, I'm just using Folka Burst a lot, and I'm just doing it to remove those reductions that he puts on us kind of every time he dispels us. We don't like those. I want to get rid of those. They're not good. No one wants that. I'm not dealing